Howdy everyone, this is LockNutz, and you're watching episode 4 of the Smallin and Ballin series on Frühling. Hopefully you'll stick around to see what happens. Howdy, 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 how are you guys doing today? Oh my goodness, I tell you what, we have been busy, and good morning to you. Oh my goodness, that we have done quite a bit of stuff so far since we last left off. It is the very next month, we are into November. We did finish up a handful of contracts yesterday, as you've seen just a second ago. There was quite a bit, so good for us. We got a bunch taken care of. We did get all of our fields rolled, planted, refertilized, so these are at their peak efficiency for right now. It is only 98%, but that's because we never mulched any of this. So it is what it is. It is what it is. And speaking of what it is, yesterday we ended up making about $2,500, or I should say $12,500 on contracts. Not too shabby. And we did pay off $5,000 of our debt. So now I think we're sitting at 75,000. Yeah, I think we're sitting at 75,000 right now. Get ourselves facing the right way here. Take care of a couple more contracts here this morning. So we did have a couple of them that popped. Pretty substantial ones, actually. I think currently we are heading over to field 15, which I believe 15 is the largest one on the map, largest field on the map. A little cultivating contract for I think around $3 grand. Not too shabby, if you do say so myself. I believe we'll check the map here in just a second, but I believe there are 2 fields that are ready to be harvested. I want to say they are both cornfields that are ready to be harvested. And, oh yeah, seeing this right here. We didn't have any weeds pop up in either one of our fields. Yeah, I was thinking, man, that's just so weird. I was looking at weeders that we were going to be able to go ahead and purchase. I was getting super stoked. I had the one I wanted all picked out, ready to go. And we had no weeds. We had absolutely no weeds. I forgot that because we had plowed both of the fields, we didn't have weeds pop up. Now, obviously, working the plow, it takes a little bit longer versus using this cultivator right here. I'm going to go ahead and assume next time we go and rock and roll on our fields, we'll probably end up cultivating. So then, with that being said, we will have to worry about weeds. But this time, I'll take it for what it is. I really will. Oh man, so let's go ahead and take a look here. Where are we at? Where are the contracts? We have another cultivating contract. We have 15 that we're going ahead and doing. I believe 2 is a plowing contract, and field 3 is a sowing contract. So 2 and 3 right over here. Oh, my header trailer's still out there. I will worry about that later. We'll worry about that later. This one right here, we actually did not have an opportunity to go ahead and harvest. It didn't allow us to. But that one was corn, which is kind of weird. It's kind of weird. We do have field 7 right here. This is a cornfield as well. And I'm keeping my eyes open because this will be a nice contract for us to get. We did pretty darn good on this field 15 over here when we were doing the harvesting contract on that one. So I'm really hoping that it all ends up working out fairly slick. But ultimately, time will tell. Time will tell. Now, reason why I do like doing these cultivating contracts is, unlike the plowing ones, we can actually, let's see, we're going to be able to do it. We might be able to do it. I can get up to 10, I think maybe 11 miles an hour, but I don't remember. We'll see here. at 10 miles an hour, which is still faster than the plow. So I'm able to go ahead, rock and roll. It's a lower horsepower requirement, so we got that going for us. But with that being said, I'm thinking I want to look at getting some animals. Now, I know I'm nowhere near in any position to get animals, or at least I should say I don't believe I'm in any position to get animals. I think if I were to get something, we might look at some chickens. I know chickens are okay chickens. If you get a ton of them, you can really just spam the heck out of them and make really good cash. I know that. I do know that. I don't have the cash to do that. I don't even have the cash to be able to feed the chickens properly, to be honest with you. I just don't think that's an option. So maybe potentially looking at getting a handful. And then unfortunately, because I have no feed for that right now, and I don't have any plans for doing anything just yet with that, well, let's take a second here and let's think about this. I do have crops that are sitting in storage right now in my silo. I could go ahead and use some of those and even some of the bonus harvests that are coming up to go ahead and feed the chickens. Now that's probably going to end up being a way to go about doing it. The other thing is I completely forgot about this. Now on this map, the main farm is broken up into two different sections. I hate to stop, but the main farm is broken up into two different sections. You got the one spot up there, and then we do have this other spot that's down here. Now this is the sheep pen. This could be a way for us to rock and roll. Obviously at this point we don't have anything to feed the sheep with, but I'm sure we could find a way to do that. Also, we do have this little chunk of land over here. Now, I was thinking about doing something that I haven't ever done before on purpose, or even done before at all. I was thinking about putting in some solar panels or some wind-generated stuff, or maybe even a greenhouse over here. I know there was a greenhouse over here originally, but I wanted to get rid of that. I didn't want to start off with a greenhouse. Man, I'm not sure. Like I said, I've never ever done. Very good, crossed here. I've never ever done one of those income generating passive things. About the closest I've gotten to that is using bees, where you get the honey. It goes and goes and goes, and you don't have to feed the bees anything. So I was kind of thinking about that. I'm not sure. Ultimately, I have no clue what I want to do. that I can at least guarantee for right now. But I don't know. We'll see how this ends up going, because I'm not too sure at all. I really am just holding out hope that we're gonna get some more higher paying contracts, kind of like this one. I've knocked out pretty much all the fertilizing contracts right now. I want to say that all the fields are pretty much to that point where they're max fertilized, so I'm gonna have to wait till some more things harvest, some more things need to be planted. This field right here I could do as a sowing contract. Obviously if it pops for us, that's an option, but ultimately we'll just have to see how this all pans out. And you know, it's kind of nice. Nice sunrise coming up over the corner, or up over the trees over there. Not too shabby. Good time to just sit back, stretch the legs, and do a little cultivating. We'll catch you guys in a little bit. Hey there everyone, we are back a little bit quicker than I thought we were going to be. I had completed doing the cultivating on that field 15, I believe it was. We got that contract taken care of, and here we are on field 3 doing a little bit of seeding, and that corn harvesting contract we were talking about has just popped, so I went and jumped on that. I got that one. All right, I'm super stoked about that. Now, what I think I'm going to end up doing, I know I said I didn't want to do this. Well, I think I'm just going to turn tail and say, you know what, I'm going to use it when I'm going to. I think I'm going to actually end up hiring a helper. The reason being is that I did accept that plowing contract. Plowing is pretty time consuming with this tractor just because horsepower requirements and all that jazz. It's all fairly close to the max on this tractor right here, which it does kind of bring up an important, I don't know how you want to say it, an important aspect of this. I seriously think that I am going to end up wanting to get a new tractor. I don't know if I want to like get rid of this one because I really could use 2 tractors as of this point. And obviously at this point, if I have 2 tractors, that means I'm hiring a helper and all that jazz. So I'm not entirely sure how we should go about doing that. Actually, I'm gonna pop back out of here for a second. I was trying to get the in cab a little bit there, get that whistling of the turbo on there off. But question for you guys then, comment down below. What do you think? How do you guys feel about using helpers? Now, I didn't necessarily say that I couldn't use helpers on this our particular challenge. I did say that I was going to try and avoid using them for a little while. The unfortunate thing that I'm looking at here is I'm just noticing that even though we do have smaller fields here, I'm not making money super fast. If I were to have a helper out there in the fields working alongside me, obviously with the second tractor, we'd be able to start knocking through some of this stuff fairly quick, with the thoughts of hopefully being able to go ahead and do some more things. I did notice the other day, not the other day, I think it was the other month, previous month, because that's when I was going ahead and doing all the work on my fields. I made about half the amount of cash because I just couldn't do contracts. Obviously, I don't think we had as many contracts or as high a paying contracts, but it still holds true. I just couldn't do as many contracts because I had to focus on my own fields. That does kind of stink. Now, I was taking a look at pricing here coming up, and this actually works out pretty slick for us. Okay, good. That contract is taken care of. Turn that, pick that up, and we'll stop here for just 1 second. Now, yeah, we'll go ahead and collect that right off the bat. I'm thinking about doing one of these ones. This one obviously would take a lot. That's that largest field, so that'd be quite a bit. This one might not be too bad to do. Actually, you know, we'll go ahead and accept that one for right now. So we'll have another sowing contract we can take care of. I'm probably going to go ahead and knock these 2 out right away. But with that being said, let's take a look at our crops. Now, oats, that's irrelevant at this point, but the sorghum in January is when we're going to have our best pricing on this. So this is probably when I'm going to end up selling the sorghum. And then the same thing with corn. Corn is around that same time too, which is pretty slick because we're going to do another harvesting contract. And we should be able to add on at least 1,000 liters on there. I would have to say, which is going to get us at least $3,000, maybe $4,000. I don't know. So we should be making a pretty good chunk of change just by selling what we have here. Now, obviously, we don't have anything that's super good, super great, but hopefully if we can get a couple extra bucks in between here and there, it should really pay off for us. We do have 11,000 right now. I have 64 liters. Let's go ahead and just take a second. We'll drive up here, take a look at this field that's right in front of us. Now, this one that's in front of us, yeah, this is the withered cornfield. I don't know why we didn't get a contract on this one. It's kind of unfortunate to see that happen. Now, I know on previous maps, I know on 19, I should say, there were a handful of maps that I had played on that just for some reason, crops wouldn't respawn, crops wouldn't like grow, or they would constantly wither like this and get taken under, put back up, and never having a contract go on them. I don't know if that's going to necessarily be the case this time around, but I just gotta open this up. I just kind of found that to be a little odd. Okay, so not even 500 bucks to fill this thing up, and I planted both of my fields. I did, I think, two or three sowing contracts together before we pretty much were out. That's not too bad for 500 bucks to fill that thing up. Ooh, that ain't shabby at all. That's not shabby one bit. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do, guys, I'm going to go ahead, get myself set up, get my all my trailer and all that jazz out here. We'll get going on this harvesting contract, and I'll bring the plow out here as well to go ahead and start our plowing action on that. And maybe you'll see something special when we get back. Maybe you won't. I don't know. It depends on how much money we got. I'm really looking at getting a new tractor here. Well, not new, a second tractor. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Guys, I honestly, I don't even know. I don't even know what's going to happen with that. It's going to be a surprise to me, as it will be for you. All right, guys, like I said, I'll catch you in a little bit. Howdy do, everyone. We are back, rocking and rolling, taking care of business. We have completed our contract on Field 2 over there. I did end up going ahead and bouncing back and forth. I did have a helper help with this for a little while here. And I've been doing a little bit of this for a little bit now, so I'm hoping that we'll be able to finish this contract up pretty darn soon here. I did have a slight issue. Let's get this thing rocking and rolling straight here first, and then I'll go ahead and hit the cruise control. Right, then that's pretty close. Yeah, it looks good. All right, hit the cruise control. There we go. Great. So we did complete this contract right here on Field 2. Let's go ahead and collect that right now. Now, I've made a slight error. I don't know if any of you guys have noticed it. Comment down below right now. Pause right now and comment down below. Let me know if you know the error that I ended up doing. Let's go ahead and get this over here just a little bit more. A little worried about that. But I accepted this contract right here. Cotton. I can't plant cotton in a cedar. I noticed that when I was looking at this contract right here and it said corn. I'm like, oh, it's a planter. I can't do that. What do I got to do up here? Cotton. I can't do that either. What did I do this for? Oh, shoot. Oh, my gosh. Oh, jeez. What's going on here? Goodness gracious. All right, let's get this bad mamma jamma back around, and let's get this last little bit taken care of. All right, get this bad boy straight. Now, it was kind of neat. I was able to do virtually that entire field over there with the manual transmission on. It was kind of fun. I just realized that when it comes to that particular tractor that I got there, because of the horsepower requirements, I don't have much of a choice. I just gotta rock with what is, and what is I need to use a little manual on that one. But back to this guy here, we're gonna have to cancel it. I don't have the stuff. I don't have something that I can use right off the bat, so we're just gonna go like that. There's not much I can do for right now. I could potentially look at leasing a planter, but I don't know. We'd end up having to really dig into that. One thing I do know we can do is we can fertilize. That's a guarantee. And again, when it comes to the cotton, I just can't do anything with cotton. It's just not in the cards. That is for sure. Let's go ahead and rock back this way kind of fast, because I know there is some corn back over here that I missed. Now, I guess this can be something that you guys, if you want to, go ahead and comment on this. How many of you guys play first person in cab versus playing third person and looking around and seeing what you're doing? Myself personally, it's kind of odd, but I feel like I've kind of gotten into enjoying going in the first person view. I like doing this too because it's kind of neat to take a look at the vehicles. I'll be 100% honest with you. You know, getting the visual aids, the visual, you know, this is what this looks like, that's pretty darn cool. I really do enjoying looking at the vehicles, looking at all the neat little things, the little details, all that jazz on the vehicles. That is one of the big reasons why I like to play out here. But I'm finding that in that first person view, it actually feels really good. I don't know why. I don't know why. So, all right, just double checking, making sure we got everything on there. Perfect. To me, it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things that it's just kind of growing on me. I'm not sure what it is. If it's, I don't know. I guess the best way to describe it is it kind of gives you that neat perspective, one that you're not normally sitting in or dealing with. Like sitting in here, you guys will probably see me rock and rolling in first person here. I love these open cab tractors. Absolutely love the open cab tractors. First person, these bad mamma jammas is super, super slick. I actually really enjoy this. Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. It's just okay. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. I think a lot of it has to do with just the kind of the restricted look of it in here. Maybe it's because it's an older one and it really feels like, oh my gosh, I'm in a coffin or something. I don't know. I don't know. But I do definitely enjoy the other one a bit more. Oh, okay, so we still have a little bit of corn in here. That should be fine. Now, I believe I took three loads, something like that, up and put it into my silo for right now. And let's see, how much do I have in there of corn? I have just a hair under 20,000 in there, so that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and get this stuff all taken off, sold off. It's kind of nice because this is probably the closest location to my farm where it comes to being able to sell things. So this will be kind of neat. I haven't gone to this place yet. I haven't sold anything here. So I'm not too sure. One thing that I have been kind of looking at a little bit here is some of the new mods that have been popping. We've been very fortunate that recently we've had a lot of mods drop on the mod hub. It's pretty darn cool. A bunch of maps have just popped up just recently. It almost seems like they've made it through that initial lump of mods coming through, and now it's time to just rock and roll and get stuff done. I don't know. Maybe that's just my insight on it, my take on things. All in all, I'm pretty darn excited, I'd have to say. Pretty darn excited. Especially since I'm starting to see a lot more of the smaller tractors, the smaller implements come into here. I'm really hoping, I got my fingers crossed, I'm hoping this little bad mamma jamma makes it onto the mod hub so that, you know, not just PC players can enjoy this one, but everybody can enjoy it across the board. I really do enjoy it. Alright, let's see where we at with this. Still rocking and rolling? Okay. Let's check and see what percentage that gets us to. It should be roughly about 89, 87%. I'm hoping. 34%. Well, that's what I meant. 34%. Okay. Yeah, so like I said, I have 2 more loads that I have to take. Let me go take care of that, and I'll meet back over here when we're getting close to that last load. So just hang tight. All right, so I've gone ahead and taken another load in between this one and that first one you seen. We're sitting at about 68% of this load being transferred, so I'm anticipating this is not going to be a full one, which is pretty darn slick. We will end up stopping this whenever we get down there. And another thing that I was thinking about looking at, I don't think there's a pig pen, a pig stall, I should say, on this actual map. I don't think it is. I think we have sheep. I think we have chickens. I think we have cows and horses, but I do not believe we have a pig sty. So what does that mean? How does that really affect us? Well, that means that I don't have to go ahead and save this corn. Whenever corn prices get to be good, I'll probably just go ahead and end up selling it. Yeah, I mean, I think that might end up being our best bet because we did have these contracts pop up here. This one popped up, this one popped back up. All of it is irrelevant. I did take a look at some things. We'll take a look at that in just a second here. But yeah, there is the cow barn, sheep pasture, chicken, and horse pasture. So I'm not overly concerned with making sure we get that stuff. It's just not going to matter at all. But those 3 contracts that have popped up, all right, $63. 1,813. So that means we're going to end up with roughly, I think we're sitting at 32,000. So we're going to be for right around 5,000. Not too shabby. We'll probably end up selling that and making roughly $5,000, maybe a little under, something like that. I think that's kind of where corn prices max out around $1,000 per 1,000 liters, so essentially $1 a liter. Anyways, I was taking a look at those 3 contracts. Now, depending on how fast I could actually plant those fields, I might actually be able to make some money on that if I were to lease a planter, especially the large one. Although the large one is going to take a lot of time to do, so I'm not too sure if that's necessarily the best of ideas. I don't know. Let's take a look at that here in just a second. I want to take and dump this in here. We'll just smash into that. We'll do the fertilizing contract for sure. That's a given. That is just a given. But like I was saying here, we'll just accept that. Collect. Perfect. You take a look at this. You take a look at this. You take a look at this. That's roughly going to be $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, give or take. Yeah, give or take about $8,000, somewhere in there. This is what was rolling through my head. We got the planter here. There's this one here, which is 3 meters. Okay, there's that one that's 3 meters. There's this one here that's 3 meters. That runs 9 miles an hour. This one runs 6. This holds 1,400 liters. This one doesn't hold as much. I'm wondering if it makes sense to lease this one just because of the speed. Because of leasing costs, it depends on the hour. Or I should say it's based on the hour. So that's the initial leasing cost right there. I could potentially do those contracts if I really, really wanted to, but I'd have to do multiple ones for it to make any sense whatsoever. So I'm not sure how I want to do that, if that's even the best move. Well, the Antonio Carrera little guy, how about that? He definitely fit into our parameter. That's a nice cheaper price. Ooh, let's take a look at that. Yeah, I wasn't actually anticipating getting one of these guys, to be honest with you. 3-point hitch. This is the one that has the 3-point hitch on it? Ooh. I'm going to have to think about that. Obviously, I don't have that kind of cash. I'd have to take out a little bit of a loan. I really wouldn't be able to do much of anything. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I honestly, I wouldn't have thought of getting that. I got to step away from that for a second. I got to step away. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. Oh man. Okay, let's just dump that off right now. Yeah, I'm not sure. Boy, that's a tough one. That really is a tough one. I think I'm gonna go spread a little furt on the world and think about this here for a second, because I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I should do that or not. I mean, and that tractor too. Oh boy, man, the decisions. Ultimately where I'm sitting mentally, my dilemma that I'm going through right here is that I have debt. I really want to pay that debt off. I want to get rid of that fast. I also realize that this particular tractor that I got right here is only going to do so much for me. I'm going to need to have something else as well. Do I go for something like the Carrera that doesn't have as much horsepower to it, but it's a nicer vehicle? It has the nice torque that you need. I was watching, I don't remember who the heck it was, but they were going ahead and they were just using whatever implement they were, going uphill at full speed that thing was able to go uphill. So even though it's a small vehicle and it doesn't necessarily seem like it's got a lot of horsepower, that horsepower is used in the correct way. So I don't know. I really don't know. Do I do that? Do I do this? I'm not too sure. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, spread a little furt on this field and think about... I got to go out here so I can line this up. I don't have that depth perception down just yet. Yeah, I think I'm going to spread a little furt on the world here. Kind of think about this, see how I want to go about doing things, and then we'll kind of take it from there. And we'll just see where we end up in a little bit. So I tell you what, guys, I'll catch up with you a little later on. I'm not sure when it's going to be. It's starting to get a little later in the day. There's not many contracts available at this moment, so I guess we'll just kind of see and play this one by ear, but I'm not sure. I really am not too sure about this one. Well, everyone, it is about 8 o'clock in the morning right now. Not too shabby whatsoever. And yes, you are not mistaken. That is a cup holder. These are headlights. I can't believe it, guys. We did it. I pulled the trigger. We ended up getting another tractor. You betcha. You betcha. Here on this crisp December morning, we are out cultivating a field, rocking and rolling. Now, we'll get into what we got here in just one second. Unfortunately, what ended up having to happen is I did end up having to take out just a little bit more cash in that loan. So I ended up $100 short when I went to go ahead and get this. So I ended up having to take out a full another $5,000 of a loan. That kind of stinks. So I ended up adding $15,000 in loans yesterday. Oh, not happy about that. But I guess on the bright side, I did make $12,000 off of contracts yesterday. So we do have that going for us. And if you want to know what we got here, we got ourselves a Mahindra. That's right, the 86 110P. You betcha. It is a beaut. I'm actually very impressed with this thing. I'm really liking it. Now, this little bad mamma jamma is by Holza FS and Gia FS. Hopefully I said that right. It's 21 5.76 megabytes to download, and shoot, I believe it is cross-platform. If that's not correct, I'll make a little note here. It'll pop up on the screen if I screwed that one up. But yeah, it's a nice little vehicle. It ended up costing me $27,000. Like I said, what ended up happening was I was going to go ahead and purchase it. It was $25,000 plus I wanted to have it in this black color, which that added $500 onto it, and I had $25,200 and something. So I mean, I was off. So I ended up having to continue on with my loan, as unfortunate as that may be. I was thinking I was just going to be 10 grand. But that Antonio Carrera, that was very, very tempting. Boy, that one was very, very hard for me to pass up on. I really didn't want to get it in the first, or I should say when that DLC came out, but they're just growing on me. I don't know what it is. I've kind of tooled around with them on a couple other maps just to try them out, and they're really starting to grow on me. That's the best way I can describe it. Oh man, but yeah, I mean, this is where we're at right now. I got 110 horsepower out of this thing, max speed of 26 miles an hour. It actually has lots of options, and to be 100% honest with you, the thing that actually took the cake and made the decision for me is, as you can kind of see right there, it does have 2 front loader forks on there already, or not forks, I don't have that on there, but at least it has the ability to add forks and add that front loader attachment. That was the kicker. That's what made me go ahead and do it. I actually was going to get the Antonio Carrera, but it came down to the forks. I mean, I'm only getting 12 extra horsepower out of this compared to the Antonio Carrera, but it was the forks. So it is what it is. I wouldn't be surprised if I do see a Carrera on this gameplay at some point, because they're gonna pop up again. I probably not gonna pay full price for it. I'm gonna have to buy it when it gets on sale, and that's just gonna be what it is. I'm cheap. What can I say? Oh man, I tell you what, this thing actually sounds really good too. It's got what they're calling rice tires on here. They're kind of bigger and bulkier and, you know, all that jazz. And actually, let's go like this really quick here so you guys can take a peek at it. Let's see, where are we? Right here. So that was the base price right there, base color, but you do have the ability to add weights on. Like I said, I had to get the rest of that loan out, so I ended up throwing the weights on it. You can go ahead and screw around with the exhaust. I left that alone, I believe. You can tint your windows if you want to. I didn't want to do that. Now this part is kind of neat. It has this little section where you can add a different attacher on there depending on what you got going on. So that's kind of slick. And the front loader attachment was the big kicker for me. You can do your main colors. It's just black and red. I mean, that's really it. But then up here, you got the tires. You got the Rice default. That's what you have. You have the conical wheels, which are pretty slick. I might go tool around with those just for the fun of it. And you got the cage wheels, half cage. I mean, all the stuff you'd expect on like a rice tractor, something that you'd see out in a rice field. So that's kind of what that is. Obviously, you can go over to the different tire styles, and then you can get more of the regular ones. But I tell you what, these ones with the rice tires makes a pretty sweet sound. Oh, man. So I ended up picking up one more cultivating contract. I let the seeding ones go, or the planting ones go. I decided against it when I went and bought this. I figured, you know what, I've spent more than I need to. I got to start rocking and rolling. The good news is today is December, or this is December. January is when the prices of everything that we're sitting on right now maxes out. So I'm holding out hope I don't know if there's going to be another contract to pop that'll be for harvesting. Maybe we can get a little extra of something. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure what's going to end up happening from here moving on out with all of that stuff. But we need to start paying off our debt. I know I'm saying that, and I know I'm the root cause of all that problem. But, oh, good, we got that finished. But I got to start paying it off. I just have to start paying this darn thing off. It's getting to be too high. I don't want to go over 100. That's going to be my thing. I really don't want to go over 100. If I have to, I have to. I don't want to. Here's an oak contract. We'll go ahead and accept that. That I can actually do. And then those 2 corn ones, which I'm not even going to touch for right now. So, yeah, it's a pretty sweet ride. I'm liking it so far. Hopefully you're liking it too. And speaking of liking things, if you guys are liking what you're hearing, liking what you're seeing, go ahead and smash that like button. I really would appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that subscription. Gosh darn it, it really would mean a lot to me. And let's see, where am I going? Oh, I got to get to this field right here, the one that I'm at. And hit that notification bell. Set it to all. That way you know when this and other great videos are coming out by myself, whether it's map tours, mod reviews, you name it. Could be some more Let's Plays. I don't know. You're going to have to wait and find out. I don't even know what's going on. I'm excited, though. I'm really excited for it. I got a tractor with headlights. Yes! Headlights. Ooh, I can start working in the morning and working into the night. I am super stoked by this, guys. Hopefully you are too. Go ahead and share this video with somebody that you might know that would like Mahindras. Yeah, Mahindras, rice tires, or even rice. That's it. Share this video with somebody that likes rice. I think that's a great idea. Oh, man, I tell you what, guys. I tell you what. I can't wait till we get going on this. I can't wait till we keep on advancing. But until we get to that point, thanks for stopping by.